So how y'all doing out there? Welcome to the podcast Talks with DP. And on this podcast, pretty much is an episode 2 kind of breakdown of what I did in introduction. So I'm gonna start off by simply, my day motivation. I get up. I was up to about 4 this morning. Went to sleep for a couple hours, got up and was laying down and just had to get back up. Had so much energy to just want to come out and just speak, into the camera and just talk to everyone out there. So, with that being said, and if you also hear something in the background, I do have a fan here because it's kind of, hot out here in my little compartment area that I film all these. And also, if you can't hear me, sorry about that. I have the microphone kind of down in the position. So if you see me kind of doing this right here, moving around a lot, or maybe I'll pick up the mic actually and just hold it. If it's more convenient for everyone out there. I do use blue microphone. So yeah, kind of just simple startup for me, something I can use and stuff like this. So if you see it in the picture, I'm just trying to make sure I get a much closer, I guess you can say conversation with everyone out there so they can hear me really good. But yeah, if it's too close, sorry, I'll go back. But you know, but anyhow, Monday motivation, as I was saying, get up, get to it. Don't think about things in your past that tried to hurt you. Simply just keep pushing forward because the things you do now can ultimately change your life if you really, really push and just work really hard at it. One of the things that I always say is, I can't go back to yesterday. I just can't. I can think about it, but I can't go back physically. So why would I think about that mentally if I can't go back physically? So it's just one of those kind of concepts to just input into your life, just like I put into mine. And it's a lot of things out there, you know, that people struggle with, and that's why I say Monday motivation, just simply this: get to it, keep pushing yourself, and don't give up. Just stick to it, and you can do it because ultimately it is in your, hands. Essentially, God gives you the vision and the purpose. You have to fulfill it, and it's very important that you do that. Just as I'm also in desire and need to do that as well. So get to it, push yourself. Okay. So kind of just starting off today, so I want to talk about that was just heavy on my mind. Yes, at 4 in the morning, at just thought process. Um, was pretty much, going back to whenever I was, from a kid to teenagehood to adult stage now. And as a kid, I always had this dream, like a lot of things. I as a kid, I stayed in the stuff, did things, all that nature, because when you're a kid, you do bad stuff, you stay in the stuff. But also, I learned a lot as a kid too, you know, and then it kind of helped translate into my teenhood, you know, and in teenhood, all I wanted to do simply, to avoid to stay out of trouble, was simply to like mess around in the garage, try to learn stuff, just something that I was kind of cool with. I knew what I like to do. I like to work with my hands and stuff. I just feel like it's a good way to learn stuff and also good to establish a good set of character traits. I just feel like that was the coolest thing to do. Um, and a lot of times a lot of people can contest this. You know, when you want to learn something, is either way you're gonna seek the information, whether it's asking a parent, cousin, uncle, or going to YouTube or anything like that. So you're gonna seek the information, basically what I'm saying. So what I always did was, I asked, parent, cousins, uncles, and stuff like that. Um, what I'm saying, and it was always kind of a thing, versus one person is thinking that, I'm gonna make a career out of this. I don't want nothing out of life. Vice versa, everyone else was like, yeah, we'll show you this, give you advice. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that, and I'm very thankful for everyone who gave me a lot of advice about stuff in life, not just about work in the garage or pop in the hood, just in general. But it just makes me, look back at that, now of understanding some stuff. And, stuff I like to do, a lot of people may have said this and that, it made a deemed me to be like, oh man, you want to do this stuff like a loser, And truth be told, that stuff to me wasn't something that I took as, that it was a bad thing in a sense. I figured if I stay away from all those negative things that can't do anything to benefit me, then I know I can increase my knowledge. I'm trying to learn something else that could very well benefit me. So it was always a constant struggle with trying to sit there and balance out life. You got sports, you got friendships, you got everything else, education, so much stuff that people just don't understand when you're 15 or 14 years old. It's a lot, and the first thing they tell you is, oh, you'll get through it. Yeah, it'll be all right. And you wonder why so many kids, around that age time or don't want to open up. They go out, they drink, they party, they smoke weed, they do a lot of other stuff because they can't open up to their parents because they know that with everything their parents got going on in a responsibility stage, which is kind of been away from maybe from a long time point or whatever. But when they're putting everything else before you kind of feel bad. You stress out and you seek other things that can help cope with that pain and that stress because of a conversation you couldn't get out. And you may talk to your friends. You may talk to another family member. You may get it out. And that's wonderful. But majority of the time, from what I always saw coming up, was people couldn't deal with their own pain. So they seek the other things that was a negative, you know, thing in a sense, basically, just to cope with their pain because they didn't have anybody to talk to, you know? And all that, excuse that background noise, this phone's going on. Hopefully nobody calls while we're doing this, but that's not the point. That's what I was saying, sorry. But again, when you try to open up and people don't want to listen, probably like I said, you gotta think about this. If let's say like perfect example, one of the things I will always be honest with is I didn't really open up a lot about a lot of things to my parents. I didn't. I always talk about it with friends or whatever like that, you know, and I started to kind of open up as I got a little older. I kind of just started talking about this and that whenever it was a good kind of moment, you know, and it worked out okay sometimes, you know. But when you're also in that stage, you kind of think you know everything when you're in teenhood. You think you know it all. Like, oh, I don't need no advice. I got this, whatever. It does do a good job for everyone to listen. And I'm not saying listen to everything because a lot of people don't have great advice. They'll lead you down the wrong path. So just be mindful of that. But when you're trying to get to a destination, sometimes it is good to take some advice, from people that are where you want to be. Simple. And a lot of times when you're in that stage of needing attention, all that stuff, want to talk to someone, you often don't look towards those people that you see doing the things you want to do because you're trying to cope with all this hurt, this betrayal, and this pain because you're not getting attention at home. And it's often so bad, but also it's a trauma effect from childhood, just still going through, you know. I get it. You turn a different age every birthday or whatever like that. But one thing about it, trauma still lasts. It doesn't go away like that until you really, really talk it out or you address it and seek out help from therapy or something like that. Or you share your story. It's up to you. But trying to, coop that stuff with other things that can't fix it permanently or whatever like that. Maybe it won't get fixed permanently. Everything to me is always going to be a past job, temporary fix. But you can't keep going through life dealing with temporary fixes and all that stuff until you address the problem at hand, until you really get help that you need, you know. And I say all this just to kind of, touch on things that, I've like again that I've learned now that I didn't know then when I was around that age of, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, or whatever, right there. I didn't know anything. And even up to other ages too, that I didn't know. So we talking about that now, and other, you know, kids of that age hear this, and even younger, they understand that I don't have to seek out other things that's a negative effect on me and my character just to get attention, you know? You have people that will listen to you. Heck, I'll listen to you. That's why we create the podcast. I know it's not the biggest thing yet, and it's not what people may deem it to be. My whole thing is with this, brand is to help others. Listen to them. Give them helpful feedback. It may not be what you want to hear, but it's the truth. Because I had to learn hard truths and come to the fact that no one else is going to be realer than you. And God shows you that. Sometimes, your parent will tell you that, or parents or grandparents or anybody will tell you that. A stranger that you may not know will tell you that because God always sends a warning before the destruction. So you have to understand that, you know, hanging around different people, this and that. Yeah, think about this for a second, which is fixed perfectly going into the next topic. Because everything that I'm saying, it may seem like I'm going loops and create all that stuff like that. But all the stuff that I'm saying, it all ties back in because it's very important that, I address this kind of stuff because this is something that I see constantly everyone deals with. It's like it's a evolving effect that doesn't get addressed a lot. And I feel like this is the perfect thing to talk about with this episode. So don't be surprised when you see the title of it. You know what I mean? I'm gonna come up with that and all that stuff like that. But I really wouldn't want to hear, what I'm saying. Not about what's going on in the background and like that, but what I'm saying, because it is very important in this next topic. So, friends, surroundings, environment. Friends, surroundings, environment. They may go hand in hand. But you have to understand that wherever you're at and who you hang around is what you become. If you let it get to you, and if you let it go into your mind over and over again, you can't reciprocate that same energy in which you're living in or who you hang around. You can't put that inside of you because it looks cool. You're trying to blend in. Always stand out. Always be the bright light that you know you can be. You're a star. You're great. Why must you dim your light to make someone else feel good or look good? And just within this topic itself, the level of things I had to learn from this, people I had to sit there and just sometimes break down within my own, concept of ways, what they do, how they act, all that stuff. Because I'm gonna tell you something. Anything that's true and that's real is not gonna sit there and make you feel like you're a piece of crap. It just shouldn't. It's like saying anything that's love, it shouldn't be toxic. If it's toxic, it's not love. There's no need to keep that stuff around you. Get it away. I don't care who it is. Life is not about being around toxic people, toxic environment. Get out from it because you have to get around those people that you want to become so you can really work hard even more to get where you want to get to. And heck, you may be already a step close, but you have to make that leap of faith. That is currently my situation right now as I'm talking to you all, you know, is it's important to keep pushing yourself. You can't stop. You just can't. Because when you stop, things ultimately can turn out for the worse. And you don't need anything to turn out for the worse. I'm just keeping it, 100 with you. So, Sorry about that. I had to take a little bit of an intermission real quick. But I'm back now. But like I was saying though, it's very important to keep it, 100. And a lot of times, we get around those people that we always say, they make me feel so whole. My environment loves me. People only love you whenever you're down, whenever you're at your weakest. People love you. The moment you realize that you have the strength, the courage, the wisdom, the it factor, that love that they had for you or you think they have for you, it goes away. That love will turn to hate overnight, essentially. And that's why when you're trying to do things in a positive manner, you have to connect with those who want to see you grow, who want to be a part of something great, not sit there and use you for what they know it can provide, but they want to be a part of what you're doing because of the impact, the structure, the courage, again, the it factor that it brings. When I started this right here, it was a lot of loopholes that I went through doing this. Worked with different people, all this and that. But I realized like this, no one can do this as great as I can do it for myself. Only I can sit there and give my all into this podcast. And I'm not saying other people can't contribute. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is this: people can't sit there and, you know, scratch that. This is even better what I'm about to say. You can't bring other people along with the ride. You just can't. And what I mean by that is your journey is your journey. I'm just keeping it all the way full factual. Your journey is your journey. They can't sit there. They may not be able to talk about the things that you can talk about. They don't have the energy that you have, the passion, the drive, the ambition that you have. And once I realized that everybody that I was associated with, they don't think like I think. They don't say what I say. We do think alike in certain aspects, but they're not me. I'm not them. You have to sit there and break down everyone that's in your life because everyone that's in your life, they have some type of role that they play and portray. What I learned in my life was this about friends and family, primarily friends, is people do things with no remorse in that moment. And they think just because of what that moment they did, they can forget about it and move on like they never did anything to you. Newsflash: if a person has never done what you did to them, they're not going to forget. Hell, that love is not going to be there. Hey, that trust, that bond is not going to be the same no more. It's not, because of what you decided to do in that moment. That's why they say, think before you say and think before you do. A lot of people that I was associated with, and I know, they did not think when they did. They just said what they said because of how they felt sexually towards another human being, or how they felt because of what somebody else was telling them. And I'm going to tell all my young bucks out here, and also the young queens and all that stuff too. If your friends or family, cousins, stuff like that, or anything else, if they put you in a situation to say it's either you or that significant other. At that exact moment, that should let you know how much they value you as a person to put you in the same, basically make it a versus you or them. That's toxic. That's not love. You should never sit there and put people that you say you care about versus someone else who's gonna eventually break your heart. Because this is the damn fact right here. You give your all to a person that ain't giving you nothing back. What you think finna happen eventually? Just saying. If you giving all this love and they giving you 50% love, I mean, hey, 100%, 50%, you tell me, huh, what battery is finna go dead faster? Thank you. Don't, for 1 second think that you should keep putting up with that same type of energy from other people. Me simply, I always say this: forgive, but don't forget. Forgive, but don't forget. I think that's came with the title for the episode, episode 2. Forgive, but don't forget. It's gonna be phenomenal. Just wait till we keep going. And yes, the microphone is coming up. But I just feel like, you know, all the people that did those things that I know, what's funny is now they always hit me up here and there. But one thing about it, I don't have the same bond. I don't have the same trust and nothing like that towards these people because of what happened. And I get it. Hey, move on. Hey, you're young. So you still make mistakes when you're young. Your words have power. I don't care what no one says. You don't forget. You don't excuse effed up behavior. You don't. You just don't. It's simple. And the reason why I'm not, cursing on here and then like that is because I know younger people are gonna see this. But hey, I'm trying to set an example. But trust me, when it gets real raw and when I really start to pour in, who knows what'll come out. And I'm just giving you a heads up now so you'll know. Because all these topics I'm gonna touch on, it's true because I've been through this, and I'm just so driven to talk about it. So I'm just again giving you a warning. Headphones coming out. Then also had to scratch my ear. Yeah. Keeping it all, raw too, by the way. Just keep that in mind. We're not editing anything out. Okay. This is the reality. Now, we're not trying to be perfect. We're trying to real deal be truthful. Simple. But going back to what I was saying, don't be around anything that's not trying to benefit you in a positive way. Don't put up with it. You know, it just is why? Why? You know what I mean? People that you call your friends, they use you to their greatest benefit. What are some signs that your friends are using you? They always call you, asking for advice. Hey, can you buy this? They're using you. Hey, can I ride with you? They're using you. Hey, can I come over? I need a place to stay. Using you. And I know what everybody's gonna say. That's not using, bro. That's being a good friend. Nope. Because put yourself in that same predicament. Hey, bro. Nah, man, I can't help you. Sorry. Wow. I ain't did all this out of love, out of respect, out of care. And all I get in return is nah, bro, I can't help you. Sorry, bro. Can't do nothing, man. You know? Stuff like that. It's always a no when it comes to you. But when it came to them, you said yes. Now you tell me who's using who. Just everyone thinks that that's not using. And people always come with the weirdest things. Well, maybe they just can't. Maybe because of it. No. You had basically the same situation going on. They chose to say no. You chose to say yes. You see, one thing about it is you can't sit there and keep excusing, again, effed up behavior. People know what they're doing. Again, they make a choice. They think because of the choice they make, gonna make us cool again. Let me tell you something. The same way you did me, yes, I won't do it back to you. But I'm gonna make sure, like hell, that I keep my distance and I just focus on me. That right now, ladies and gentlemen, that's me right now. Focusing on myself. Giving, giving, giving. But never thanks. Never. Oh man, appreciate it. I say those things back to people that, have done stuff for me. But when it comes to me giving, don't even get no acknowledgement. You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to say that to make it feel like, oh bro, you just being man, you just in your feelings. You see, that's the problem. Everyone out there is such in a need to sit there and make fun of other things besides listening to the fact. Because hell, these people that say those things may actually be what I'm talking about now. A fake friend, a phony foe. Let's be real. I'm gonna tell you one again. Forgive, but don't forget. Forgive, but don't forget. Because they're gonna do it again. If you let them back in, they're gonna do it again. It's just a matter of time. Literally. And I have done that with one of my friends. Constantly. Lots of them actually, some of them. But in particular, it's been a recurring thing. And after the last straw, I said, damn it, that's it. I have no more time for this. Walked away from everything. It's not hate. It's simply me focusing on what's more important. I can't help build, you know, that nice building, that nice home, lay that foundation or whatever. And I have nothing. Nothing. It's more importantly for me to focus on myself and what I need to do with my brand than it is to worry about other things that I can't control. And a lot of people out there will be like, man, it's good to come up together, this and that. Let me tell you something. Come up together, ain't nothing wrong with it. It ain't. But what is wrong is that you choosing to not do your own thing too. And it's not just, oh, I need to have something to fall back on. It's about what your family gonna have. I get it. You working together, team or whatever like that with your friend or whatever. But if they get into some trouble and everything goes downhill and you ain't got nothing, then hey, you tell me who's to blame. Not the friend. You. Your choices got you to where you're gonna be at. And that's just a fact. You can't sit there and put all your dependency on people that you know aren't dependent. You just can't because time and time again they're gonna keep showing you came up short again. Why they come up short? Because of the fact they don't put that much work in as you. And the reason why I say that because a lot of people in these companies and all that stuff like that, Fortune 5, whatever, they do more work than what the CEO does that owns the company. Hey, why hell is like that? Maybe because money's coming in. People living their best life. Sometimes people's best life be their worst life. Mm, 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 mm. Their best life be their worst life. Just saying. I mean, like countless times again, people put in work, get overlooked lots of times. Was it like that? You tell me. And see, when you do the whole I'm coming up with my friend, think about that. Without living a best life, you can say, man, we're all living our best life. If you all living your best life, like I just said, you could also be living your worst life too. Best life, best life. What the worst lie is? Fooling yourself thinking you ain't gotta work hard. That's the worst thing about the whole damn thing is you're fooling yourself to say that I'm working hard, man. I'm working hard. How you working hard? You spend time on a boat. People out there, well, I can be making money on the boat. Let me tell you something. A leader is the example of what his company or team is. If a team has a weak leader, what to tell you about the company, the whole department. Not saying the people themselves, but amongst them. Because they see you not coming to work, they don't think it's cool to call in, not show up. And I feel like this. A lot of people that do work hard out there in these companies and all the other stuff, any aspect, like you work at any other job, you work hard. Hey, kudos to you. But work hard on your other thing you need to do outside of that. DP will support you in your business. You support me, I support you. You know what I'm saying? Hate me, I love you. You know what I'm saying? No, no need to sit there and and do the other things like everyone does. No beefing. Always understanding. But like I said, all my youngsters out there, young queens, forgive, but don't forget. So I want people out there that work hard, keep doing it. But work harder on that other thing, that side hustle, as you say. Whether it's online business, whether it's whatever, building stuff, craftsmanship, whatever. Do that. Because again, DP will shot with you. Just being honest. Support those that support you. Simple. It is simple. Next topic. This one is mm, it's pretty raw emotions towards it. Fake friends. Yeah, a little story. Once upon a time, you know, a young man thought everything was cool. It was always, man, it's awesome. This and that. Supporting, hanging out, cool. Until one day, this other young man meets woman, flashy money, got all the money, dressed to impress, ready to stunt, and all of them. But it comes a day for both young men drive to a destination to get something to eat. Young man with all the money that was showcasing excessive amount of money turns to the other young man. Hey, order the stuff. Hey man, you gonna pay for it? Like, bro, you literally just showcase so much money at a game. That was more money than probably anybody had on that property in their pocket. You showed me this, but you can't buy this for $5 and some change. I got to come in my pockets, and you invited me here. Damn, think I'm feeding you. Young man does so, pays for it. But young man on the way back home doesn't say a word. Young man is silent because young man is now witness a foe of a friend. Fakeness. Snake. And it's just bad because young man has done more from that day. Supported. Say, hey man, it's cool. Forget about it, you know what I'm saying? Squash it. But young man has been lied to constantly. Even though young man has went through betrayal earlier at the age of 16 from a friend. Picked the girl over him. And when it ended, he called best friend, the young man, crying because of a breakup. Fast forward, young man goes to what I just said. Hey, bro, you pray for it. Young man thinking, like I just said, you had all this money, but you were showing me at a game. How you can't pay for this $5 food. Hmm. But young man realized over and over again that situations like that, he kept breaking off and chipping away at something that was coming to an end. Simple. Young man decided what was best for his life, and that was to cut ties and move on. Young man doesn't hate. Young man has moved on. Young man is focusing on what's more important. People that really want to keep it honest. People that keep it 100. Young man is doing well. And I must say, I'm inspired from young man's story. Young man is an example that we all should strive to be awakened to. Fake friends show their fakeness all the time. It's up to us to realize it. Don't get mad about it. Move on. Do better. Ask you why? Tell them, hey, why I gotta tell you something that you did? Because people always want to hear what they did. So they're like, oh man, but they want to hear what they did so they can switch up the routine. It's simple. People don't change. They just change their routine. Just saying. Just saying. But I hope you all listen to that story and understand where young man was coming from. Because young man never did what other young men did to him. Never, ever. If anything, the real young man, as we can say, and the fake phony other young man, the real young man always did what was right. He still made mistakes, but he never did those things back to people. Real young man, like I said, he's doing well. I'm inspired by the story. It's very, very deep. I think we all can learn from it. Hey, if you don't believe DP, then hey, listen to it over and over again. But DP's inspired by the story. That's for sure. I keep hitting the mic. I'm so sorry. But thank you all for listening. Thank you all for, if you watch the whole entire video and then just skim through and say, oh, this nigga ain't talking about nothing. Hey, also appreciate you too. But definitely stay tuned for episode 3. And also stay tuned for the playlist that I have on this channel. Guess with DP. The first episode in that playlist will be dropping very, very soon. Actually, maybe dropping this week. You just never know. So that's why you need to subscribe to Talks with DP. As I'm gonna also put down there all the social media pages that I have for Talks with DP. You can also, go ahead and follow it. Send me a message, and we can talk about a topic. And hey, I'll even mention your name in the video, and try to give you some of my, I guess you could say, what you may think is not good advice, but to me is just being truthful. I'm only going on what you tell me, so I'm just keeping it 100. So just gotta think about that. I'm not only trying to bash anyone, just trying to out here do my thing and expose all you fake people, and also embrace all the real people. And lastly, have fun. Because what's life without fun? Boring. It's silent. It's not fun. So I need to have fun. Have fun. But I'm not gonna hold y'all in here at all anymore longer. Like I said, thank you all for watching, listening. People that didn't watch, thank you too. People that hate, love you back. Um, yeah, just like I said, stay tuned for episode 3. We're gonna switch it up. We ain't gonna just talk about things like this. On the channel, other channels I have, I'm gonna start doing, trying out the live videos, everything like that. And also, if you want to send in some funny stuff, we can also read that as well on Toss with DP. Toss with DP. Said it wrong. My bad. Yeah.
Oh shit!
Talks with DP is essentially more than what.
He needs some milk.
My bad. Again, I told you I've been up since like 4 this morning. So yeah, don't do that kind of stuff. Let DP stay on that. DP still finna keep putting in work because DP got a lot more videos to make. Yeah. So, like I said, I know I got y'all probably rolling out there towards the end of this video. I know I'm a fool. I make people laugh. So. But again, thank y'all for watching. Stay tuned for episode 3. Guess with DP, episode 1 dropping this week. So stay tuned for that. Thank you all for watching. Again, Monday Motivation. Get to it and push yourself. I know I was looking that way at the light because it's just so bright. But that light that's so bright is you. You are that light. So get to it. Enjoy your Monday. And stay tuned for episode 3.